And don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Kicking It Back with Matt. We got our first time guest, Jean, on the show. Super excited to have him. He's integrated with working in MLS, specifically with Orlando City SC. Jean, my man, you ready to kick it?
Yeah, ready. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. I'm glad to have you. So, our first time ever connecting, first time ever talking. So, what is it that you're doing in soccer, footy life?
A lot of things, but currently I'm video analyst for Orlando City. I help the first team and also heavily on the B team, help them with the opposition analysis and players' performance as well. So right now the season is over for the B team. So then we shift to the first team and the playoffs coming. And actually this weekend it's decision day. So it's a big day for MLS. So that's where we see who's making to the playoffs, who's not. Most of the positions they're already locked in. So it's easy, but we don't know who's going to be in the top 4 for the home advantage and the ones who are going to have to travel.
So I was looking into that. So I know that Orlando currently is 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Play 3 points behind.
Yes.
If they win and these other games results go a different way, does Orlando have a way to get to number 4?
It's very difficult right now. The 4th place is for Charlotte, 56 points, and we 53 points. So they have to lose and we have to win. And Charlotte, with the form they're having, it's going to be tough. It's still a possibility, but we're not really looking right now for that option. We're just making sure we win. That's our priority: winning.
But you're locked in, right?
Yeah.
You're guaranteed.
All the 9 teams, they're already locked in the Eastern Conference. Yes.
Right. So you're basically what you're doing is scouting, right? You're analyzing game tape, watching how other teams set up.
So for people that don't know too much about soccer or a little bit and they want to understand, there's one side that's scouting and there's one side that's an analysis. And in our department, it's 2 different departments.
Okay.
Scouting, it's purely for players, trying to find the next, top player or the next replacement for whoever we're selling or whoever is leaving. And then on the analysis side is purely match, and our own team. So it's how we perform against this team and how we're going to perform against the opposition team the next match. And then we obviously do a performance analysis of our players. So that's completely different than scouting. Scouting, they don't really look into our games or our players. They look at the future players that we're going to get.
Okay, so once you do that, that's step A. What's step B? Where do you go from that point once you've done the analysis?
Then we give all the information to the coaching staff, and they're the ones who plan the week or the days, depending. Sometimes we have midweek games, and that's a bit trickier because you have to work on the clock like 20 almost every day. There's no day off when you're an analyst from the even before the season starts, actually, all the way till the season ends. We're constantly working and analyzing, watching games, and helping the coaching staff so they prepare how to train and how to uh, do in terms of tactical for the opposition.
And obviously, you're doing this outside of MLS regular season play. So any cup competition that Orlando's in, you're doing the same thing.
Yes. Any game, even friendlies.
Oh, even friendlies you're doing it.
Of course, preseason we have friendlies. We do it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your season runs late February till now. Make the playoffs. Get done with the playoffs. What do you do during the off season?
It depends. Sometimes they help with the scouting sides. Right now, I don't know if I'm gonna need to help them or not because there's the draft. It's something very different than Europe. And I mean, you're a Liverpool supporter, so you know that in Europe there's no such a thing as draft. Whatever player we want to buy, we make an offer, and if they want, in US there's also the draft. So they look at the college prospect and who is going to be in that draft and who are we going to pick depending on our position to pick. So obviously, since we're in the playoffs, we're not going to be in the first clubs to pick the top draft players. So that's happening at the end of the season. Like December is a big month for the scouting department to look at all those college players and see who can fit our club.
And then when's the draft? Is it late January, early February?
No, it's December.
Oh, okay. So outside of that, like how long have you been with Orlando?
It's complicated because I've been in different positions. About 4 years.
Okay, so I know we talked off air, and I know that you're from France. How did you get from France to the U.S.?
That's more on the private life.
Okay. So
yes.
how did you end up finding your way into the MLS and doing this and doing what you do with this game analyzation?
Oh, it's passion about soccer. When I moved to US, I started doing some certifications, some coaching as well, and I started coaching at youth level for Orlando City. So actually, it's more than 4 years. That's because there was a gap with COVID and all that happened. It's way longer than 4 years when you think about it. But I started coaching with the academy kids, and then kind of we got separate ways because I wanted to be a bit more involved. But at that time, the club was very short-staffed. The budget was lower. That was before we sold it because there was a new ownership later on.
Okay.
And with the new ownership, I gained interest again to the club, and then I applied and I joined to the events because I have a background in events as well. So that's how I started joining, and then with networking and knowing who to talk to, I ended up with the team operations.
Which side do you prefer more, the operations side, the coaching side?
Operations.
Really?
Yes. Coaching is very demanding, very stressful. I mean, when you coach kids, it's not too bad, but in a general point of view, coaching is very demanding. I mean, we work with the coaches every day, and the pressure they have, the stress they have, it's completely different than on our side. On our side, we do our job, we deliver the products, and then it's up to them to do whatever they need with it. So all the pressure is on them. At the end of the day, they're the ones you see on camera on the bench. We're not on the bench, so there's not as much pressure for us. Probably 10%.
Right, and they're the ones that have to come up with the lineup, the formation, the tactics, how they're gonna play that particular game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm a coach at heart, so I always love the coaching. You made a great point because there's got to be a big difference between coaching kids and coaching adults, and then adults that are getting paid a nice salary and
usually more than you.
yeah. So like, I kind of get that. I don't want to look at it that way, but you put it in great perspective. I don't know. I'm torn on that because I don't want to say I want to be in the spotlight,
Yeah.
but I really do like engaging with people on an everyday basis and figuring out the puzzle of what we're going to do next, especially tactically, lineup, formation wise. I love all that stuff. But it sounds like from your analytics, you're delivering a lot of that stuff as well to
Yes.
the coach to go into their quote unquote game plan, correct?
Correct. Yes. That's we help them direct into the direction that's the most suited to to play against the opponent.
Now, stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Like, you're not traveling to games, away games,
Sometimes.
much.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes you do?
Yes.
Okay. So
But
then,
my head of analysis travels all the time.
so take me through what's the difference between doing the analytics in person at an away game versus you sitting at a computer like we are now and watching the stuff on tape?
Uh, well, it's a very difficult question because it's I'm trying to make you understand how it works. We at home we're live. We are at the stadium. We're just not on the bench. We're
Right.
live, so we're communicating with the bench as well. So it's not we're just not analyzing the games post match or pre match. We also during live matches we're there, especially all matches. We're like up there to have a better view because when you're on the bench, your view is very limited. Tactically, it's very difficult to see where are the gaps. And when you're up there, you have a way better view. It's like us watching on TV versus the coach on the bench. And when you're away, it's kind of the same system. You bring your laptop, you're sitting up there, and you go through, you talk through the coaching staff on the bench, what's going on and how we can fix some issues.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. That's got to be a fun job.
It is, but a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of work is okay as long as you're enjoying it. And
Yes,
you're a footy passionate guy, just like I am, and a lot of other people in the world. So you're doing something that you love, so it's enjoyable no matter how much or how hard the work is, right?
absolutely. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We're very, very fortunate, lucky because there's probably thousands of people knocking on the door to get that our position for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's flip it a little bit. I want to get into because I'm a big European guy. You're obviously from France. You're a homer for PSG.
Yes. Well, I'm from that's my city, hometown. So yes,
You're from Paris.
yes,
Okay. So we talked about it a little bit off air. PSG beat my boys, Liverpool, last year. Difficult round. Went to PKs. You guys ultimately ended up winning it. You thrashed Inter Milan in the final
hmm
and made it look like it was child's play. So let me ask you this. You feel like you guys are going to repeat?
it's very difficult. We to as as a fan, we are super happy that we won it, and what happens this year, it's just bonus. So if we make it, if we win it, or if we make it far, really good. Obviously, we one of the favorites because we're defending champions, but I have to be realistic, and it's difficult because right now we have a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
And you know what happens when you start having those injuries, they come back. Can they stay fit? You never know. I mean, injuries is always that big question mark in the overall performance in the season. And right now, it's really crucial for us. We have the last Champions League game against Barcelona. We were playing without four or five of our five of our final starters. So that's
And you were missing Dembele, Balloon d'Or winner.
Dembele, Doué, Kvara, Neves, Joao Neves. So yeah, it's hopefully we can go far. I think we will, but winning, I'm not. I'm not. We have to wait again at the winter break, like always.
It's always difficult outside of Real to repeat in Champions League and add in a World Cup year. So more international breaks for
Mhm.
qualifiers and domestic cup competitions. I mean, you look at some of these dudes, they're going to be playing close to 100, if not more than 100 matches this year. So the injury bug is going to be a massive, massive worry for everybody. I was looking at the table last night for League One. PSG's in first place, but they're in first place by a point. And and only by a point over three different teams. And it's you
Mhm.
usually don't see that. And it's usually PSG is up here and everybody else is down here.
Absolutely, yeah, and that I mean, injuries, it's a big factor. There's no surprise there. Dembele and Doué and Marquinhos as well. They've been injured for quite a while. They missed already over a month, so that's a lot of games in a month in the league. So it's difficult. We lost against our big competition, Marseille, and that's the one who are just second behind us. Uh, no, Lyon is second behind us. But
Lyon, Marseille, and I forget the third team that I saw. You got three teams right behind you by
yeah,
a point.
yeah, Lyon is very strong this year, so they might be a challenge. We haven't played them yet, so that game is going to be very important for us.
Yeah, because last year you guys won the league by what, seven, with 7, 8 games to go?
Yes, yeah. In March, we were champions in March.
All right, so we get that. Like, so you're not confident of PSG winning Champions League. I got to be honest with you, with my guys behind my back, Liverpool, their performance the last 3 games and even the beginning of the season with the cardiac kids,
Yeah,
I don't. I couldn't even tell you what the hell's going to happen with them. I think ultimately they're all going to fit and jive with the new transfers, and they're going to be loaded with attacking options. But something that you said to me off air that caught my ear when we were talking about the national teams, Liverpool's loaded up front.
yes.
The French national team is loaded up front.
Hmm.
But where is the leak? It's in the back.
That, huh?
It's in the back.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, also let's not forget, Premier League is super competitive. It's the most competitive league. So the results in the Premier League, sometimes you cannot like say, okay, oh, they're doing bad in the Premier League, so they most likely do bad in Champions League. I always notice, especially with the English teams, it's very different. They can do bad and still perform well in Europe versus the other teams where they struggle, like even in France or in Spain, La Liga. They usually, if they're not doing well in their own league, they struggle also in the Champions League. But Premier League, you never know. So maybe I mean, they're not doing bad. They're second. Liverpool is second. So for me, it's still in the competitive league, it's still good. And I
Oh,
mean,
I'm just comparing it. Like you said to me off air, like the French national team, the problem is in the back with the
yes.
defense.
Hmm.
It's the same with Liverpool. You catch Liverpool on a counter and forget about it, it's over.
Yeah.
And Liverpool has been dancing that fine line since match day one,
Yes.
where it's been a problem. And I just find it odd that it matches up with the French national team's problem, loaded up front.
Mhm.
Like I said to you, Ekatike can't sniff the national team lineup, but the dude
Yes.
starting in the Prem, which is,
Mhm.
you just said, the biggest league in the world, and he's scoring goals like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it happens sometimes in national teams where there's some favoritism. You know how
Mhm.
it works. You know, with coaches, they have that preference for that profile of player. So even though he's not performing at the top, he's still gonna call him. Like I remember Giroud, not the best striker, but he loves. Deschamps loved the profile, and I think that's the same thing for Deschamps now with the Kitike. Yeah, he's performing well with Liverpool, but does it suit the profile that he wants? When you have Mbappe, Dembele, that's a big difference in terms of profiles. So yes, he called him. Why? Because he had so many injuries, like three
Right.
injuries up front. So you telling me you need three injuries up front to be called in?
Yeah, because that first international break, once we got into the season, he originally wasn't called in.
No.
To your point, it took injuries for him to get called in. And he's a completely different player than those two.
Yes.
Dembele and Mbappe.
Mhm.
Completely different. But I got to tell you what, for a dude that's 6'4", he can move.
Yes, yes. Well, I know him because he used to be a Paris player too before we sold him.
Yeah. Yeah. Before you sold him on to
Uh,
Frankfurt, right?
Frankfurt, yeah,
Yeah.
Frankfurt. And he
Yeah.
did good there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we noticed his potential. The problem is when you come to a team when you had Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, it's tough to get a spot in. It's very, very difficult. And since it didn't fit and we didn't want to keep him on the bench and say, hey, you have so much potential, just go play. And that's what he did. He went to Frankfurt and look what he did. And now he's back. He's in Liverpool now. So it worked out for him.
So I have my own opinions on this. You tell me, why wasn't PSG successful with that incredible front three of Mbappe, Neymar, and in my mind and eyes, the GOAT Messi?
And very easy. I mean, we've been talking about it since the beginning. It's you can be loaded up front, but if the back line behind it doesn't, support. No, it's a bit more complicated than that. But the problem is in a team, first off, all the teams that win the Champions League, it's a collective, it's teamwork. It's
Mhm.
they all work as one. They defend together, they attack together. We had nothing with those three. They stayed up there, and then we were facing like counters and attacks with just the rest defending. So 7 players defending versus like 10 attacking. So we were always overloaded everywhere, and it was difficult for our defenders.
Yeah, because everybody would say to me is, how come they didn't win everything with those three? And I said, well, you have to play defense. You have to defend, and you have to get behind the ball and keep the ball out of your own net. And if you can't do that, these guys aren't going to bang in 3 to 4 goals each every game, or collaborative every game. So it's to your point, it's a team game. You need all 11 on that pitch working in cohesion.
Mhm.
And tactically, I just never thought it fit. And now I hear these rumors before we get out of here, because I know you're up against it. Neymar possibly going to Miami to pair up again with Messi and Suarez. And it's going to be the same I mean, yeah, they had great success at Barca, right? But like, this is the MLS. The defense that they have at Miami is not the defense that they had at Barcelona.
No, nowhere near, nowhere
No.
near.
Yeah, so I just don't like, everybody's like, oh, Neymar is going to come to the MLS, he's going to pair up with these two, and they're going to just win and win and win. And I just don't see it.
No, no. It's even this year, without the talents and the magic of Messi, they wouldn't be where they are now in the spot now, because he's scoring a lot of goals. Also, MLS, the defense in MLS is
Yeah.
is for him is training. For
Yeah.
him, the way he dribbles through those defenses is like butter. But thanks to him and his goals and assists and goal contributions, but like we said, so goals scored and assists, that's what puts Miami where they are now. You remove that, Miami wouldn't even be in the playoffs. That's the reality.
Yeah. I saw Messi in person for the first time in my life this summer up at the Sports Illustrated Stadium. AJ actually flew up, and we got media credentials,
Wow,
and we were down on the field. So I got to see Messi for the first time being on the field. And truth be told, I didn't pay attention to anything else in the game other than him and Suarez, because I just wanted to see what they did
Yeah.
they did it. Messi scored the first goal for Inter, and the entire stadium erupted.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, 90% of the people in the stadium were wearing Messi jerseys,
Yeah,
whether it was Inter Miami, Barcelona, or Argentina. Everybody was in Messi
yeah.
jerseys.
Yeah, of course. It's. I think when they travel, it's always the same case. The stadiums, you look at the stadiums, they're not full capacity. And there's a Miami game, full capacity. They even open like upper levels and everything for those games.
But it was fascinating to me with how little work he did without the ball.
Yes.
Like I want to say in that game, he probably dropped 10 yards past the midfield line 4 times in
Yeah.
the entire
Yes.
game.
That's been his style of play for especially I think since he left Barca, when he moved to Paris, he already starting that play style where he kind of walks most of it, like scans the field, and when he sees the opportunity, he has that quick burst, and he surprises you. That's how he beats you
Yeah.
because he's so slow at the beginning. He walks, and then you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm marking him, and all of a sudden he has that burst of speed, and then it's too late. There's no way you can catch him.
And what I think people don't realize is even though he's walking and he's slowly moving, he's looking to see where everything's going to go.
All
So
the
that when he gets the ball, he knows the next 3 to 4 pass sequence.
time.
And that how many times does he play the ball opposite side, makes the run, ends up with the ball, and puts it in the back of the net? Because he's already seen it
Yeah.
20 to 30 seconds before everybody else. So I feel like he's almost like lulling the defender to sleep.
Yeah, yeah, that's part of the football IQ. Do you have a high football IQ or a low IQ? You see the difference between intelligent players or the ones that play really on their abilities they have, and they try to, it's more about prevention than really reaction. And when you play against Messi, a lot of times you better be preventive because if you react, it's too late.
Yeah. It's over. Game over, right?
Yes.
All right, buddy Gene, I know you got to go. I know you only had 30 minutes tonight. I really appreciate you coming on. I
You're
can't
welcome.
wait to have you back on again.
Sounds good.
Everybody else, we'll see you next Thursday. Talk to you all later.